Okay, so this lesson is a little bit similar to our last lesson. The only thing that's different is we're comparing what our check register is versus what the bank says we have, okay? So this is our formula. We're taking our statement balance, we're subtracting any outstanding checks or payments and any outstanding deposits. Let me explain what this means. What that means is they haven't cleared the bank yet. Is that clear?
Yeah.
But you know that you wrote them, okay? Or you know that you made a deposit and it just hasn't cleared yet, okay? So the reason why this is important, these numbers should match. If they don't, I need to put away, please. These numbers should match. If they don't match, there's a problem, okay? Either there's a check that you wrote for that you didn't account for, or something where the bank made a mistake. Why do you think that's important?
Don't want to screw up anyhow.
Right. Let's say you wrote a check for $40 and they cleared it for $400, okay? And your rent is coming out the next day. What did language? Remember, you're being recorded, please. Mena, are you okay? Okay. What was the charge I told you if anything bounces is returned to the bank? Yeah, $30 to $35, and even if it's 1 cent. It's important, right?
Yeah.
And after a while, if you do 2 or 3 in any given time, they'll close your account. Say, no, we're not going to put ourselves at risk. So, you being accountable for your money and knowing what's happening is important. Cameron, please, is it appropriate?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
If they were to close your account, would you get your money back?
Ultimately, yes, but guess what? They're going to hold it because they don't know whether you wrote other checks. So they can hold it up to 90 days.
Wait, why 90 days? That's pretty much.
Yeah, they can hold it up to 90 days until they feel nothing else is going to clear. And it's legal because you signed off on it. You agreed to it in the agreement when you opened the account. That's actually an excellent question. Okay, so our formula. Do we understand our formula? Statement balance, right? This is what we worked on already. Okay, this is what we think that we have. Any checks, payments that we have that haven't cleared the bank yet? Stop. Any outstanding deposits? Okay, so Cameron, will you read that first example for me, please?
The statement balance is $500.
Hang on just for a minute. Hang on just for a minute, sorry. Put it away. Follow along when we go through this. No. Follow along as we go through this. I'm doing this for a reason, okay? Okay, everyone's good? Put your finger on it, do what you need to do. Plug in right now, this lesson's not that hard. Okay, Cameron, sorry, go ahead.
The statement balance is $598.67. You have an outstanding check for $125.44 and an outstanding debit of $235.42. You also have an outstanding deposit for $231.98. What is your adjusted balance?
Cameron, thank you. So, the first thing you want to do when you get to your test, but we're not testing this till next week, but this is very similar to what we're going to test on Thursday, write your formula out first, okay? Then, as you read the problem, like Cameron did, write the information down, okay?
Do now, right?
What's that?
What are we going to do now?
No, we're covering the examples, then you guys are going into do now. Okay, so Cameron read for us that our statement balance was $598.67, so we put it in. Then we had outstanding checks and an outstanding payment. Those are both outstanding things, so we're going to stack them on top of each other, okay? Outstanding deposit, we had 1, right? So now, these are both coming out of the bank. We want to add these together and then bring down the rest of the formula. No change here, no change here. It told us what this was, okay? By solving. We have parentheses here, okay? So we know that we're going to have to subtract this. We're going to take this number, subtract it from there, add it to here. There's our balance. We're done.
And that's it.
The formula is the toughest part of the problem. Yes, Cameron, go.
Outstanding deposits, that's just like outstanding however much you haven't, or that you put in, they just haven't counted for it yet?
Yes, they haven't given you credit on the statement yet. So, do we know what the word reconciliation means? Please. Do we know what that means?
No.
It means to balance. It means to check. Make sure it's right. Okay? And that's your responsibility at the end of the day. If the bank makes a mistake, they're not going to point it out to you. If you make a mistake, they're not going to point it out to you. They're just going to clear the check. If there's funds there.
Why? Why wouldn't they tell you, like, if they make a
if there's a mistake and you don't have enough money in the bank, you're gonna get a notice in the mail saying, we charge you $35, and by the way, we sent it back to whoever you wrote it to. We sent it back, so we didn't pay it. That's the notification you'll get. That's too late.
Now, what if you have like a good amount of money in the bank and say the check needs to be written off for 400 because I'm paying someone, right? And for some reason I write it off for 4,000. They pay and they don't even tell me.
Well, yeah, then it's your responsibility to fix it.
Well,
Right?
I'm gonna notice because when I check my statements, they say 4,000 was subtracted, and that's when I'll know.
Yeah, you know how fast you'll be on the phone?
Yeah, I will.
Or you'll probably be down there, right? You'll be down there saying, wait a minute, here's the check. It's right here. Which you get in your statements, you get all that information, so there's the proof.
Well, they're gonna say, well, it's not.
So then
you
you
wrote
can
it
just-
4,000, right?
Oh, if you wrote the check for 4,000 and you made a mistake,
That's why I'm saying.
yeah, that's on you. Then you gotta go back to the person you wrote it to and hope that
It's legal for them to say, oh, it's my money not, right?
all they are is pushing paper at the end of the day. They just clear it. There's no feelings involved. They just take that information that's presented to them and honor it at the end of the day. Yes.
Now,
You see what?
now if they're losing money on it, they will tell you, right?
Right.
They will.
Yes.
That's-
Because they're not in the business of losing money. Okay, any questions on the first one?
No.
Don't do it in your calculator. Write the formula out, plug the information in, makes this section real easy. Okay, I need someone for number 2. Thank you, Montez. Okay, everyone follow along. Example number 2.
Margaret Miller's check register balance is $2,261.50. She compares her statement and check register. For each check and deposit listed on her statement, she places a check mark next to the information in the register. She indicates that the bank paid her 86 cents in interest. Margaret finds these outstanding checks and deposits.
And then it's on the statement, but we're going to go through it. Okay, what's different in this one is we're given a whole bunch of information. We're still following the formula, okay? But does anyone see interest in here?
No.
Yeah.
Is there?
No.
It's outstanding technically. Technically, it's this.
That's why.
Technically.
So wait.
So we have one new step when it comes to an algebra problem. Yes?
Because interest sometimes is not likely you have to pay, right? But sometimes it can be with the paying you. In this case,
It's always they're paying you. Always.
no.
Yes.
What if I'm buying a car and they say there's so much interest you guys? I have to.
That's a loan payment. Totally different. Which, believe it or not, we get into that in chapter 5, I believe.
Interest in business can have many definitions.
Yeah. It could be costing you, or it could be benefiting you.
That's why-
Yes.
So interest will be going to outstanding deposits?
So what interest is in this case, in this question, they have a certain amount of money in class. They have a certain amount of money that's sitting in their account that the bank agreed we're going to pay you interest on. So they're earning money on leaving that money in there, leaving that balance at a certain dollar amount. You know who's Chase is notorious for it now. They're sending these mailers out, well, where they'll give you $500. Well, banks aren't in the habit of giving you $500. You have to read all the fine print. The fine print is you got to put $30,000 in the account. You have to leave it in there for so long, and so on and so forth. So
They go right to the 600.
yeah, and they're doing that to try to get business, where people see it, they're like, oh, but they didn't read the details, and then they go in and find out what it is. Well, that percent is so low, you're better off doing other things. You know, putting in a mutual fund, something like that.
There's a mutual fund.
We'll get there. Okay, so second example, the very first thing we have to do is we have to take that interest that the bank, what we earned, and we need to add it to the balance. That's step 1, okay? We need this number. We need this number to reconcile to the next part of this, okay? So we take the 2261.50, which was in the statement, if you see it on there, and we add 86 cents, we get 2262.36. So this is the number that we're trying to clear it to. So looking at our next one, it told us what our balance was. We had 2 outstanding checks, so I'm going to stack them on top of each other, and there was an outstanding deposit. Are we clear so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first thing, we're going to go ahead and add these together. We're going to add these together, we get 607.75, and then we have our deposits. Now we have the problem ready to solve. This is how much money we have in the bank. This is how much hasn't cleared yet that we wrote checks on, and this is a deposit we haven't got credit for yet, okay? So when we add that, and we see that, and we compare it to our interest added to our bank statement, those numbers are the same, right? This is what we call reconciliation. These are right, we don't have an issue here. What she's talking about in that second example about making little check marks, your check registers actually have that on there. And the reason why that's there is so you can look at the document, compare it against your notes and say, okay, I agree with this one. The bank shows this clearing. The bank shows this one. Oh, this one's not showing clearing. I'm going to go to the next one. So those outstanding items that don't have checks means they didn't clear the bank yet, so we use this formula to solve for it. Any questions? Not hard, right? Especially not hard if you write the formula out. So when you go to do your do now, what I'm expecting is this. I want to see your formula written out, okay? You're going to solve number 1 and number 2 and number 10. Make sure you fill in the formula, do it just like the example. Montez, go ahead.
What is the answer to the formula you just?
This one right here, 2262.36. So we're 2160.50 minus 607.75 plus 709.75. Let me also tell you why the formula is important. If you get these out of sequence, you're changing order of operations, you're not going to get the right answer.
See, I was adding that 607.
Right, you have to go left to right. So money I have coming out, money I have going back in. If we reverse that, we're not going to get the right answer. Okay? Any questions? Pretty straightforward, right?
How do you do it?
Okay. Okay. So you have number 1, number 2, and number 10. You're going to turn that in for your do now. Now, your assignment's up on the board, right? You're doing through number 8. I don't expect you to write those twice. If you turn your do in to do now, you're getting credit for it. Okay? Okay? Yes, go ahead. I think it's sitting on the, it's right there.